What's happening, brother? Shadrock 20 was good. Elliot Biscom. What is popping? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got a good one today, man. I got good news. Honeysuckle MAGA. What's popping? What's good? Charlene Thomas. Hello. Maybe I get some Denver peeps in here today. Got some good news out of Denver. What's good? All the way up there, 420. What's good? Timmy two Twinks. Oh my God. What's happening, Timmy two Twinks? What's up, everybody? What's happening? Denver's in the building. What's up? Denver Rob 710. Stone Slade in the building. What up? State of Cannabis News Hour recap. What's popping? State of Cannabis family is in the crib today. We got a good one, man. Got some good news coming out of Denver, and can't wait to hop into this one. So everybody, I can see some new people in here too, man. So hopefully you guys have seen us on State of Cannabis News Hour. We've got about like 13,000 followers on there on Clubhouse, trying to build that up to the entire cannabis community. That's about a few million to go. So every single afternoon between 4 and 6 o'clock, I try to get these recaps in, just dig a little deeper into the stories that I cover in the mornings, give people a little more color on that. And also just give a shout out to all my people that follow, all the people that hop on here as well, whether it's right now live or whether it is later on. You can check these out in my IGTV. We're going to start recording those in CANiVISION Global on our IG as well. So let's hop on into it, man. So State of Cannabis News Hour, your daily dose every single morning at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. on the East Coast. We cover the biggest news stories in the cannabis industry. It's me and 11 other thought leaders across the industry all over the place. And we all have very different perspectives. I love it because we got right-wingers on there. We got left-wingers on there. Everybody in the building loves the plant. And we get into some heated debates on there, both with the audience as well as amongst ourselves. And it's just good conversation that we need to be having. So big ups to everybody on the State of Cannabis News team. And if you guys haven't been on there yet, hop on that Clubhouse app, man. I know that they are data mining our voices, but it is what it is. Like all of our information, all of our data has been compromised. That's another conversation for another day. But today we're going to talk a little bit about Denver, because my story was coming straight out of the mean streets of Denver. They're going big with their
tell them to bring me my money. Yeah. Tell them to bring me my money.
Yeah, they're coming with the heat. So big ups to the mayor out there. And so this story came out, Bloomberg News this morning. Denver mayor proposed cannabis loan fund for minority investors. So this is right out of Denver, Colorado. Mayor Michael Hancock is term limited through July 2023. But yesterday, his latest virtual State of the City address, he went virtual atop the Denver Central Library, and he didn't sound like he was a man about to end his term in less than 2 years. He came up proposing a litany of programs, including shifting $50 million of marijuana sales tax revenue toward a $50 million loan fund to help minority investors join the city's recreational cannabis industry. He spoke forcefully about enhancing fairness in the marijuana industry. This might come as a surprise to many people out there, because if y'all remember back in the day when he was running for office in 2012, he was vehemently against cannabis legalization. And of course, Amendment 64 allowed them to do that in 2014. And their proposal includes working directly with the financial industry and for the adult use cannabis sales that all of the taken revenue from the adult use cannabis sales that happened all the way from 2014 legalization. Mayor Hancock's proposal also includes working directly with the financial industry. And he's going to be getting some big wigs from, I think this came in this afternoon. I believe they're going to be working with some of the largest firms in the nation. A bunch of people want to hop on this. So if you guys are listening, the rest of the people, the rest of the large industry cities especially, you might want to follow suit. People want to invest and people want to help out with these programs. So make sure you guys are taking care of the people of color, the global majority, as we call ourselves now. So this is his statement yesterday. History exposes an amazing imbalance when it comes to this industry. Many investors in the industry are white and male. At the same time, many people of color are still weighed down because of past convictions possessed of marijuana, and as a result, are barred from entering the industry. Many minority and women-owned businesses have lacked access to capital, and it's time to level the playing field and leverage these profits of retail marijuana to correct these challenges.
Tell them to bring me my money.
Mayor Michael Hancock is he's a very, very gifted fella, and I'm glad that he is at the helm out there in Denver. So whether or not, I'm sure Wanda James, we gave a big shout out to Wanda James this morning, the Godfather, the Godmother, I apologize, the King of Denver herself. She probably had a hand in this, and I just love what they've been doing recently. We all question the fact that Leafly came out with their list of cities and states that are doing cannabis equity correctly. They're doing right, and Denver was at the top of the list. Maybe they knew something that we did not. Obviously they did, because they just came up with their equity program, even though they were the first state to go. All right, so my response to this, man, I think it's good for everybody involved. The fact that they're actually taking tax revenue directly from raised from the cannabis industry, and they're not shifting it from other programs. You're not going to have a lot of outsiders that are opposed to that. Number one. Number two, a lot of the cannabis tax revenue, at the very least out here in California, 280E is the number one revenue source for the state. There's a reason why Gavin Newsom, besides him being on the ropes and running for this recall election coming up, there's a reason why he had $100 million bailout of the industry. They're going to lose out on all of that revenue if they don't get people licensed up. So big ups to Wanda out there. I know she had a hand in this. I had a pleasure to meet her a couple of times in the industry, and I just love the fact that you're seeing people go big and they're going bold right now, and that's what we need to do. That's what needs to happen, especially on a state and on a municipal level, because Joe Biden ain't hearing it. So I don't know what's going to happen on a federal level. I was thinking, I was really thinking that it's going to happen before 2022, the end of 2022, as far as federal legalization. However, Joe Biden ain't really trying to hear none of that shit. So it probably has a lot to do with, his son and dealing with addiction and all that. But there's a lot of people of older generations that just won't come into the fold in that conversation. They just got to let it go and just understand that President Harris coming up, it's going to be a different conversation. And hopefully she's going to want to right a lot of the wrongs that were done under her regime when she was a state's attorney general out here. All right, so just big ups to Denver. All love out there, and I can't wait to go back to Denver. I gotta go back, man. Very, very clean city, very, very cool city to go to. But the one thing that I did notice every time I went out to Denver is there's not a lot of visible Black folks at the very least. And hopefully this will bring a lot more folks that look like us into the fold, because we need it. Period. We need more BIPOC community members participating in this industry. There's way too few. I believe the last recorded numbers were like less than 3%. That's trash, man. We got to make sure that we are participating in an industry that we have been done wrong for generations upon generations. People are still getting arrested. People are still getting thrown in jail. People are still getting abused by this system. We got to make sure that we're taking care of our people. So it looks like Denver is trying to do that. And just big ups to Denver, man. I truly do hope that this proposal goes through and that they're able to get that 50 million into the hands of minority owners, global majority owners. Because if it happens, man, it's a brand new ball game. Because access to capital is the number one blocking factor when it comes to our people getting in the industry. We got to make sure that we get more people of color in this industry, man. I'm just hoping that it goes through, and hope that more states come along and take that initiative to the next level. So, what's happening, Michelle? Was it Michelda? Loves Life. I hope I pronounced that right. All right. We were just talking about this yesterday. So glad you're discussing it. I'm from Louisiana. And so what I'm doing now is pulling ordinances and researching other states. So thanks for them. Oh, yes. From Louisiana, please DM us. I got some high power people down in Louisiana doing some work down there. If you're already in the industry or if you're looking to get in the industry down there. One of my closest allies out here in Los Angeles just moved down there, and she's stirring up the pot already. And we need as many allies on the same message as possible. So whether it's me introducing her to you and your people, or the other way around, I would love to do that. So Louisiana, man, big things happening in the South, and hopefully, more and more of the southern states, as they lose all of this tobacco money, they're losing a lot of money on traditional crops and all that shit, that they see the light and they see that cannabis is a huge opportunity for everybody. And there's a lot of black and brown landowners in the South too. So switch that land, rotate those crops over into hemp at the very least, and get ready for THC, because THC is going to be coming online sooner than everybody thinks. Big, I would say, predicting factor that I saw, or a preliminary factor that I saw when my wife was pregnant with, she was pregnant with our first child. We actually flew out there to see a lot of the older folks in my family. Took a trip from New York all the way down to Florida, stopping every state along the way, seeing all the old folks in my family. Actually saw the the price of cigarettes, man. The price of cigarettes was way down, way down. So tobacco ain't making money. And just like out here, a lot of people don't want to talk about it, but up in wine country, you can yield probably about 200,000 from an acre of wine grapes. You can do just under $1 million in cannabis. So why would you continue to go with stuff that's not making money instead of lobbying against the cannabis industry, which is inevitable? We're going to win. Join in the race. Join in that race. Get your money, especially right now. You have companies, huge companies that are entering. Things like Denver is doing right now with their program, putting 50 mil into the hands of communities of color. Like I don't see how more cities don't follow what they're doing. I really hope that happens. And if it does, man, it's a huge win for our people. It's a huge win for the cannabis community as a whole. So you have a lot less infighting and a lot less passive aggressive bullshit coming from non-melanated brothers and sisters in the industry. Just call it as it is. I mean, a lot of that happens. And they're like, oh, yeah, it's capitalism. Yes, it is capitalism. Capitalism is fucked up, especially in America. Because we have racist roots, and we got to acknowledge that and just call it what it is. And it looks like Denver's doing that. So big thank you to Mayor Hancock out in Denver. Hope more people come into the fold and follow their footsteps, because I think that's a huge win for everybody involved. It's a huge win for the cannabis community overall. And we need the other cannabis friendly cities and states to do the same thing, man. Like, you have all of this, you got all this money coming in to the industry, and the best way to use that tax dollars is make sure you're recycling that right back into the people who need it the most. And it'll be a lot less heat on y'all at all these city hall meetings, and because the internet's eating y'all up because y'all are not taking care of our people, not taking care of our communities, but you continue to wonder why people are going back to the trap, wonder why people are still operating in the trap, because you can't make money when you're spending all of that stuff, just trying to get in. And if there's not access to big investors on the from a BIPOC stand of view, what do you expect us to do? All right, so big us, real Cannapreneur. What's popping? My man Gary George in the house. What's up, Big G? Yes. Mikelda, I hope I pronounced your name right. Please hit us in the DMs. Veronica on my team will hit you back, I promise. And we'll connect you with some people down in Louisiana. We need more like-minded people on the same page. Prime time is what's popping. Welcome. And we were just talking about, for everybody who just entered the room, got a slew of people just popped in. I'll put this back up. Boom. We were talking about Denver. And Mayor Hancock out there pushing $50 million into minority investors, and so people are looking to get into the cannabis industry out there. Hopefully, this proposal goes through. They're going to have a huge injection of cash. They're going to have a investment fund, working with some of the biggest investment firms to push that money over and get more people that look like us in the industry.
Tell them to bring me my money.
So, Queen Coco Post, I heard I missed you last week. I I apologize. I had to leave. I had baby girl with me. I had to beat that traffic back into the city. But hopefully you have fun with the fam out there. Miss Kindness, what up, Club Kindness? What up, Veronica? What up, Vanessa? My team is strong, and we're going to continue to grow. But speaking of that, I got to give a big update. You know, if for everybody who's seen the CDC and their announcement today. We already had in California, Gavin Newsom was saying what he was saying, especially about LA County. But CDC actually recommended that that everybody wear masks in indoor facilities. So we're actually moving Cannapreneur from this Thursday to a private location. We already had a backup plan for all of that. So I'm gonna make sure in an email this evening, everybody on our email list, hit us up. If you're not on the email list, check us out, www.CANiVISION.com, CANiVISION.com. Make sure you guys hit us. Chris, 4, what's happening, brother? I love you too, man. Appreciate you, G. But make sure you guys hit us up, www.CANiVISION.com, CANiVISION. Hop on our email list. You'll get an update where Cannapreneur is going to be this Thursday. We're not canceling it. We're just going to have it at a private location. It's outdoor, so people feel a lot more safe. Make sure we're following the rules of the CDC. We got to make sure we stay in compliance with everybody, keep everybody safe with that. So if you guys are interested, on Thursday, we're going to have in the wellness slot, we're going to have Susan Soares. She's actually the CEO of State of Cannabis, and she's going to be telling her story. She's incredible, an incredible story, incredible person, period. So I can't wait for that. She's going to be speaking. Also have my man Dan Renner coming over from SoulBid, and what they're doing is they're building solar farms on top of indoor grows. So inside or outside of the cannabis community, you can make money instead of paying all of this shit. And we actually cleared this with some legal people. And in California, a lot of people think this is a blue state. It's a blue state because they vote blue. But a lot of people are against the cannabis industry, including Gavin Newsom. Yes, I said it. Gavin. But yeah, a lot of people are against cannabis. And it's something that I learned when we started working with this. We brought on SoulBid. That's the name of the company, SOLBID. Check them out. We brought them on as a partner, and we were working up on the East Coast, and we were doing well. But when we started talks out here with companies, trying to help them out, trying to make a lot of these cannabis companies, especially, make more money instead of paying all these bills, we found out that it's obviously all the laws are municipality up, and a lot of these municipalities are against cannabis grows not being on the grid. Period. So you got $100,000+ electric bills. And that's another tax on us It's just like they're just trying to push people out of the industry. However, the thing is, they don't want solar generators. So Solbit actually has solar batteries. They have big batteries. They do everything that they do, and it's a great opportunity for people. Whether you have a cannabis, you own your building in the industry, whether you're in the industry or not. They're helping folks make money. They create a solar bank on top of your business or in any open space, as long as it's flat, and you make money instead of pushing that money out the door. So big ups to everybody. I always keep these pretty short. Every single day, 9 a.m. We are the State of Cannabis News Hour. You can get your daily dose. And in the afternoons, I do these recaps so I can dig a little deeper into what I was speaking about, and also give a shout out to my people. Obviously, I am at the crib right now, not in the studio today, but I'll be back there tomorrow. Be back in action. So any shout outs? Anybody want to give any shout outs before I pop off here? Any questions? What's up, Willow Creek Springs? Any other questions? I am glad to help people out. And if I don't have the answers, don't worry. I will connect y'all with people that motivated by Mary Jane was popping. If I don't have the answers, don't worry. I'm not the type of person who, oh yeah, I know this, I know that. I don't know everything, but I have a pretty strong Rolodex, and I can connect you with people who do. No problem at all. We need more competent people in the industry. We need more love in this industry. We need more collaboration over competition in this industry. And we don't have much time left, period. So you guys see these big investors are coming into the industry. That's why I covered the story I did today. There's hope. There's hope. And a lot of people that look like us don't have access to the same capital, and that's just keeping it a buck. So I'm going to do all that I can do to connect folks with opportunities, because I do not think we have much time left to make money in this industry. And the big boys are coming in. The story that I covered yesterday was exactly what is going to be happening to a lot of companies, especially the ones that went public. A lot of them are going to be, they can't file for bankruptcy. So you're going to have a lot of corporate raiders coming in there, sweeping them out and selling the company at a massive loss, but they're going to be making millions of dollars out the door. That's just capitalism. That's the way it happens. And you're going to have a lot less juice to squeeze out of that fruit for the industry. So this is why we got to stop sniping at each other. This is why we got to stop talking shit about each other. If you guys have beef with people, take that shit behind the scenes, man. We don't need outsiders that are coming into the industry. They're just going to see us as, petty, childish. They already haven't been respecting us for generations upon generations. So we got to make sure that we come together and show some love, man. There's a communal plant, There's a communal plant, and we got to make sure that people are rising in this thing. More and more states, especially in the South. What up, Chad Prophet, my man? Actually from VA out there. Speaking of the South, more and more states roll into this. You're going to see the emerging market states, let's just put it that way, the emerging market states, especially in the South, they're going to be going towards big business because they don't have an open market. They don't have the longevity. They don't have generational farmers and all that stuff that we have out here in California, that a lot of people have in Denver, a lot of people have on the West Coast. So if they're going towards cannabis, chances are they're going to start with a medical program, and they're probably going to let a lot of corporations take over that, like we're seeing up in Connecticut, right? And then you're going to see cartels emerging, Florida, Connecticut. And what happens when you have 4 cultivators in the whole damn state, and one of them has a problem with mold? I won't name any names. Y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about. Everybody's screwed. You guys are all smoking mids, and nobody wins from that shit. What's happening? Game time, Buck. It's actually CANiVISION's celebrity, and as the CANiVISION celebrity liaison is in the building, man. So any more questions, man? I'm glad to answer any questions. We had some very interesting questions about sex toys in the industry and sex workers in the industry last week, but it's a real question, man. What's happening, Buck? What's good, my brother? Good to have you on. Anybody want to hop on? Anybody want to give any shout outs to anybody in the industry or anybody outside the industry? I'm glad to do that. Brand Masters, what's popping? What's popping? So I got my CANiVISION Global folks over here. I got my my personal folks that follow me over here, Rico, Lamitte. I got everybody on Facebook, YouTube, on all of our Facebook channels, like over there as well up top. So thank you all for tuning in. Game Time Buck says CBD enhanced lube is pretty dope. THC enhanced lube is actually even better than that. Do I feel like the trans community will be welcome in the Canada job market? Oh, great question, Shabanga 13. Yes and no. We're already, unfortunately, I had an LGBTQIA2 plus. I think I said that right. I had a queer industry event last month, and unfortunately, a few people were speaking out about it, and they were pretty public about it. So this is a lot less. What people don't understand is there's a lot less of a progressive industry than folks think. This is a lot more conservative than folks think, and a lot of people don't want to change. And I was disgusted with some of the hatred that I saw on Facebook, on Instagram. I had to delete, I had to cut off a lot of my some of my comments because I had queer folks on stage with me. They're part of our community. Period. So if you don't like folks that don't look like you, that don't make the same choices as you, that don't have the same preferences as you, man, like if you like money, just know that you're losing out on money, because the top two spenders in this industry, top two consumer classes in the cannabis industry, number one is women, number two is the queer community. Period. Who you think buys licensed products? Who you think actually does that? A lot of women do, and a lot of the queer community does as well. So we got to make sure we're taking care of our queer brothers and sisters out there. And this is an inclusive industry, period. It's a communal plant, and everybody deserves a seat at the table, just like you do as well. Shabanga 13 asks, do you feel like the trans community will be welcome in the Canada job market? So like I said, yes and no. There's a lot of people that are supporting the queer community, but there's a lot of people who are against it. And hopefully a lot of those people will cycle out. But, you know, with corporate cannabis, the way it is, these are a lot of the people that I used to work with in corporate finance. It's very conservative. You have a lot of people that they'll follow the money, and they'll keep the way that they'll keep their ignorance along with them. So we got to make sure we keep on supporting our community. We keep on being loud about this being an inclusive industry, an inclusive plant, and supporting our queer brothers and sisters, period. They are us and we are them. It doesn't matter who or what you're doing behind closed doors. What matters is that, and what matters is that we need more people in this industry. If they care about the plant, they deserve a seat at the table. All right, so you have more questions. 1 second here. I was hoping that there would be an opportunity for the young trans community. There is an opportunity. Don't get me wrong. There is an opportunity. However, there is still, unfortunately, a lot of bigotry in this industry, and that's just reality. And this is from the legacy market, and this is from the new age market as well. You would be surprised some of the stuff that you'll see and some of the stuff that you'll hear this day and age, but that's America. That's not just in our industry. All right. If you don't have, Game Time Buck said, he said it better, man. If you ain't got something nice to say, don't say it at all, period. Now, we're all in this industry, period, for one of three lanes. Let's get it right. Wellness, business, or the lifestyle side of the industry. And we got to make sure that we're all working with each other. And when you're canceling people out, you're just canceling out on the money, period. You're missing out on money operations. You're missing out on money opportunities. And if you are a bigot, go do that over there. There's plenty of other people to work with. And Shabanga 13, if you are looking for queer opportunities in the industry, there are plenty of those. If you're new to the industry, or if you have people that are new to the industry, please reach out to our team, info@CANiVISION.com. We'd be more than happy to connect you with some huge movers and shakers in the queer cannabis community, because that's what we do, man. A lot of good people in the industry, in that lane, and a lot of them are my good friends too. So Game Time Buck said it's all about love. Yes, it is. It's all about love in this, man. When you step into the cipher of life, you roll up with these good people, man. You be surprised, man. And I gotta say that too, man. I came from a bigoted place, coming from the South, and when I was young, and what really opened me up and broadened my personal horizons in this industry was cannabis. Period. I was smoking weed in college, and my girlfriend at the time, her best friend was a gay dude, and he always brought the weed. And I think the most respectful thing you could do, whether you're white, black, gay, straight, doesn't matter, and you're looking to learn about other cultures, respectfully ask questions. Don't be ignorant about the shit. Ask questions, man. Let them tell their story as they've lived it. Because if you are a bigot towards anybody that doesn't look like you, that doesn't think like you, that doesn't have the same sexual preferences as you, you're missing out on opportunities not only to make more money, but you're missing out on opportunities to team up with great people. Period. And that's what I was doing prior to college. So I'm happy that weed brought me into the fold and made me less of a bigot. Because I'm from the Michelle Alexander school of thought. If you are black, you can't be racist, but you can be a bigot because you're not from a position of color. Motivated by Mary Jane, what's happening? The people that care of cannabis need to be the ones running this industry. I hope others learn that cannabis is cultural, just like everything else. Yes, it is, and that's another thing we can talk about real quickly. There, it is cultural, but it is very inclusive. But that inclusivity brings everybody into the tent, under the tent, and sometimes those people are fucked up. Sometimes they're bad people. But it's important that you let those bad people know exactly what you're feeling, know exactly what is right and what is wrong. And like my homie over here, Harvest Honey, was popping, Nicole West, she always tells people like it is as well. I love people like that. Big shout out to CANiVISION Mary Pryor out there in the Northeast. She does the same exact thing, calling people out for their bullshit, for their injustices. And that's what we need, man. I'll always say it to the day I die, man. I don't live life with many regrets. And the one regret I do have is when I stepped down from my community-driven organization. It was not a nonprofit at the time, but my partner at the time was saying that it was. Going through some legal shit, so I won't call any names out. But if you guys dig not even that deep, you'll know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. But that person was an evil person, and I didn't call them out publicly because I thought it'd be a bad look for not only me, it'd be a bad look for people of color, it'd be a bad look for the industry, and they ended up hurting more people. So if you see something in terms of bigotry, in terms of racism, in terms of just people getting ripped off and stuff like that, now's not the time for that shit. Period. We all need to band together because we're all going to get wiped out if we don't. Period. All right. So those folks across the street on other blocks and everything that used to be your arch nemesis, like they're not your arch enemy anymore. Not right now. Wait till federal legalization comes, and then you can see who is left in this industry and talk shit about them again then. But right now, you got to find people, got to be each other's crutches, find people not that are necessarily doing the same thing as you, but find people that have weaknesses that are your strengths, that have strengths that are your weaknesses, so you can lift each other up and build our own coalitions. Like, fuck what all these other people are saying. Make your own fucking wave, and one of two things is going to happen. You're going to become these corporations, or you're going to get bought out by them and make a fuck ton of money for you, your kids, and for everybody involved. And that's where generational wealth comes from. Everybody wants to get that shit. And just one more time, shout out to Denver, because why?
Tell them to bring me my money.
We all going to be getting money in this if we are working together. Baby Dabs, what's happening? BB Dabs, what's popping? So every single morning, 9 a.m. State of Cannabis News Hour, where you can get your daily dose. Make sure you guys check us out on Clubhouse, and put that up one more time for the people who came in here late. This is what we're talking about today. Denver mayor proposed a $50 million investment to community.
Tell them to bring me my money. Tell them to bring me my money.
No, and we were talking about that earlier. Hopefully more community programs get on the board with that as well. Reach out to us, man. And everybody who's interested in cannapreneurial programming for this Thursday, if you're out in the greater Los Angeles area. We're going to be out in Long Beach, the longest of all beaches, at a private residence. We are still having the event, but it's going to be scaled down. Make sure you guys RSVP for that. We're going to pull the tickets, but if you message us, there is space for about like 30 people. Going to make sure people feel safe. Going to follow CDC's recommendations and not have shit indoors. And we're going to make sure that folks are rocking with us regardless. The game ain't going to stop. We're going to make sure that we're still putting on events. We're going to still support the community. So our three speakers, Susan Soares, she is the CEO and founder of State of Cannabis. Yeah, CEO and founder of State of Cannabis and care.org. And we're going to have Dan Renner. He's coming in from Solbid. And they're building solar farms on top of businesses, whether you're in the cannabis industry or not. But also we're going to have my homie for about 5 years now, Chelsea Calandria. She's actually coming down. She is the underwriter for equity programs in the industry. She's a scientist. She is a chemist. She's been on the plant touching side of the industry for I think 4 years, and now she's behind the scenes helping folks get land grants in the industry. So she's a good person to know. And she has a dope ass street clothing wear too. Street clothing brand as well. So big ups to women in the industry, big ups to black folks in the industry, big ups to white folks in the industry too. Just let's come together, smoke a little weed, and make sure we're taking care of the business as well. All three sides, we got to get together: wellness, business, and lifestyle, because you need three legs to keep that stool in the motherfucking air. So any last shout outs? Cannabis lady, what's happening? Got a couple of stragglers in here. Before I hop off, every single day I do a recap of the story that I covered on State of Cannabis NewsHour that morning in the afternoon. So check out for my updates every single day, in the, either somewhere between 4 and 6 p.m. depending on daddy daycare. Daddy daycare. Game time, Buck. You know what time it is, man. You're gonna be having that. Oh, you don't have daddy daycare because you rich. You got a nanny. Trying to be like you, brother. Just trying to get like you. So big ups everybody. Love you all. Just remember, when life gives you no place else to turn, you got to turn up, baby. And when it comes to these equity dollars, reach out to your legislators and make sure they're doing the same for all of you. And you tell them, man, you get your mayor on the phone, you get your city regulators on the phone, you get the people that are proposing this cannabis bullshit to the table. And what you tell them? Tell them
to bring me my money.
I'm out, y'all. See y'all tomorrow.